Good morning. Hi, George. Oh, I miss you. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, the camera's going to shake because I just have to pin this post really quickly. Okay. Come on. Thank you. Okay, so today is day 1 of the free February stitch along. And for this stitch along, we're doing the girls. So you pick a girl today, and then each day we're going to freehand draw some different techniques all the way around it. So this is kind of like my sampler that I'm just kind of working through. I was meant to be finished by today, but I got a really big order yesterday, so sorry. But yeah, so the first thing that we're going to do before we get started actually stitching is I'm going to show you how to put the fabric in the hoop and to trace the girl. That's literally all that we're going to do today, because the free February stitch along is a little bit slower. It's a little bit focused on day to day to day to try to make it really manageable for people who've never stitched before. I got my hands going this morning. Can you tell? Okay, so the girls are sized perfectly for a 6-inch hoop, but I made mine a little bit bigger so that you can see the stitches a little bit better, because for some of the stitches, they're going to be really small on the 6-inch hoop. So I've just blown up the girls, well, both of them. Yeah. I've just blown them up so that they will fit on like an 9 by 11 instead of what's this one? 8.5 by 11 or 11 by 14, I think this one is. So I've just blown it up so that you can see the stitches a little bit better, and you don't have to zoom in as much. So hopefully that will work out. We will see. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Carrie. Feel free to say hi or say your name, because normally I try to keep your actual name and then like your username in my head together so that I don't have to call you your username the whole time. So again, it's going to be quite easy. So your hoops that you get, they look like this. They have 2 wooden rings. They often come with a blue plastic on the top. Sometimes they'll come with an additional little like nut that fits on there. And if you get one like that, you'll have to use some pliers and a screwdriver to tighten and loosen. But I just have the ones that you just twist the one side with. Yeah, so you untwist to make it bigger, and you twist it, well, retwist it, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, to make it tighter. Jesus Christ. Yes, Sarah. Hi, Elena. Sarah says, I hate that blue plastic, invented by the devil. So it's actually okay, because sometimes people want to stain their hoops. So if you stain your hoops, the stain will get on or paint them or whatever, if you want to change the color, the stain will get on the actual like hardware. And sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to come off. So the only good part about it is that if you wanted to paint them or stain them or color them in any kind of way, it does protect it. But when you try and get it off, it's the absolute worst. So I use tweezers. So this side normally comes off really easy, but you can use tweezers. I went and bought some tweezers that are just embroidery tweezers. So that side came off clean. But I find that on this side, they put the plastic on and then they put this little small round thing on after. So it's kind of really punched in there, and that's where the tweezers come in really handy. So you've got your hoop. We're just going to take it apart. Put your fabric in like this and try to make it about centered. Sorry, you can see my shirt at the bottom. Just make it just about centered. I never bother with ironing because if you have your hoop tight, it will completely be flat. So there's no need for you to iron your fabric. If you want to, of course you can if it makes you feel better, then that's up to you. But if you tighten your hoop enough, then it should be fine to not iron it. Yeah, so you put it on like this. Hi, Judy. And you're just going to tighten it a little bit. And then with the hoop against your body like this, you're just going to tighten all the way around. And you can see the wrinkles here as the fabric is being stretched. And that's why we don't like to use stretch fabric. So t-shirts are always a little bit tricky. You need to use some kind of like stabilizer behind them if you're going to stitch on a t-shirt. I'm just tightening it again. I'm just going to pull it all the way through again. Judy said she just printed the pattern. That's perfect timing then. And then you might have to push your outer ring back down. Sometimes they'll get kind of moved up. And then this will be the final one. So get it as tight as you can, this part. You're gonna pull one more time. So you can use any kind of fabric for this. I know some people watch the paid pattern, how I set up the paid pattern. And that's fine too. If you've watched it and already done this part. But you really want to get it tight so that you make a nice drum sound. Like that. And you can see that actually the wrinkle in the fabric is almost gone. So there you go. So we're not going to do any actual stitching today. I'm going to show you now how to transfer the girl onto the fabric. And there's a couple ways that you can do it. So if you don't have a printer, you can use an iPad. You can use your computer screen even. Really simple. So here are the girls on the iPad. Okay, so Sarah says, I'm trying to decide whether to use a print fabric or plain. Will the ladies be line stitched or filled in? So they'll be just line stitched like this. Just a black outline. Hopefully that helps. I mean, obviously you can fill them in if you want to, but I'm just keeping them plain. Right, so I've got my 8-inch hoop and I've got my iPad. So what you're gonna wanna do is choose which girl that you want, and then you can zoom in or out depending on how big that you want the girl to be. So I'm aiming for her to be kind of in the middle, but like not that big, like that's a bit too big. Kind of like this. Now I don't actually like to stitch this way. So if I traced it here, it will be on the inside of my hoop. And I like to stitch this way because I like to put my fingers kind of along this inside ridge or edge and kind of hold it like this. So you can see my fingers behind holding it. And if you can see like that, that's kind of how I hold it. Obviously, I'll be using a hoop stand for the stitch along so that you don't see my hoop going like this the whole time. And you'll be able to see the stitches a lot more clearly. So I will be putting it on the front here. So if you use this method of tracing it on your computer screen or your iPad, then you will have to take the fabric out and then flip the fabric over so that the writing is on the top and then re-hoop it. So again, tighten it, pull, I hope that makes sense. Yeah. The other way is the way that I prefer, because like I said earlier, I'm lazy and I don't want to rehoop my fabric a million times. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out which girl that I want and then hold it behind like this, because you can actually see right through. So I'm thinking for the practice one, I used this girl, but I think I'm going to try this one next. When I have short hair, my hair looks like this, so I think I'm going to go with that one. So yeah, I just cut it straight out, and I'm going to just slide it right behind and kind of put it in the center. And there's no like right or wrong way. Like there's no like 4 inches from the top and 3 inches. No, like just put it in the center and you're just gonna kind of wing it. The one thing I will say though is if you need some help keeping it, because obviously I'm just holding it with my fingers and I'm gonna need to trace it. If you need some help doing that, let me just make sure it's where I want it first. Because I always have some blue tack around, and so you can always put some little pieces of blue tack on there just to make sure that it doesn't move around for you, because you want your pattern to line up. And it won't hold forever, obviously, because like the blue tack doesn't stick to the fabric like super well, but it'll be enough for me to be able to trace it. Yeah. So here we go. I'm just gonna trace it really quickly. And I'm using the Pilot Frixion pens. I'm sure that you've heard of them before. Because I talk about them a lot. And they are heat erasable. So when you're done, we'll use a blow dryer to dry them off, or make them disappear, I should say. And you can find them at Target, you can find them at Sainsbury's, you can find them on Amazon. Hopefully you didn't just see like the top of my head the whole time. So there we go. So I'll just show you the pens really quickly. They just look like this. You can use these ones. You can just use a pencil if you'd like. Just make sure that when you use a pencil that we are definitely going to go over those lines, because you can't really erase the pencil very well. So that's it, really. That's day one. All of my threads didn't come from Anchor yet, but I do have some that did arrive. So I asked for specific colors this time, whereas last year in February, they just kind of sent a big arrangement, like some random ones. And this year I asked for some specific colors. So obviously black, we'll use that tomorrow when we outline our lady. I asked for some greens. Obviously I didn't get them. And the paid pattern and the free pattern colors are all mixed up here. But you want a nice mix of colors. So dark ones, light ones, you want a real good mix. It'll make it look a little bit more natural. And it'll make it so you're not using the same color for every single leaf or the same color for every single flower. And then as far as colors, I asked for some purples, light pink, dark pink, just regular flower colors. It really doesn't matter which colors that you use. Just use your favorite ones, really. And that's it. Like, I mean, the things that I like might not be the things that you like. So keep that in mind as well when you're stitching and you think, oh, she's used red, but I actually don't like red. Well, that's fine. You don't have to do You don't have to make it that color. So yeah, so tomorrow we'll do the girl, and then after that we'll add a little bit each day by drawing an element on there, and then we'll be stitching it up using different kinds of stitches. So we've got a whole month of stitching. Every Saturday will be a catch-up day, obviously other than today, and a giveaway. So you can enter the giveaways by posting pictures of your girl in your stories or on your feed, and then tagging me so I know that you've done it. And you'll be entered to win either patterns, kits, store credit, all kinds of stuff from my shop. So I cannot wait to stitch with you. I hope that you love the pattern. I hope you learn a lot for the February stitch along. And yeah, I guess have a great Saturday. And that's it for us for today. I made the first day really exciting. That's funny actually, because it's not really that exciting. But I thought we'd start with the very, very basics, and then by the end, hopefully you'll have a whole hoop that you're super proud of. You'll have learned a lot, and hopefully you've won some giveaways. All right, well, enjoy your Saturday, and I will speak with you tomorrow. Bye.